So everything is new. Everything is new. There's no time, so everything is new. Then there also are no consequences. There are no before and after. There's no cause and effect. And when there's someone, there's very obviously for you, you can have it, that there's someone. It's so obvious, it's so normal to see that everything is solid, that everything is just happening after each other. There's time, there's before, there's after. And then they're saying somebody, then somebody is saying there isn't. So it seems like two worlds, like it's so obvious. There's a past and there's cause and effect and there's someone who's doing things and there's choice. And then suddenly there's someone saying, no, there isn't. And this is not a philosophy. This is not a belief that there's not. This is just saying what is seen. And the strange thing is that when this is not about reaching something or finally getting it or understanding what's going on in life, it's the opposite in a way. It's not knowing. It's about death. It's about falling away. It's about loss. And a lot of people know what is falling away when there are some beliefs and suddenly there's a belief and it's falling away and it's not even noticed. And then after a while, something is happening and that belief that was there, it isn't there anymore. And then it's obvious then, you can't you think about like, oh, how could I believe that? How could I be so, it could be so believed that that was true? No, of course it isn't. But you can't explain why it isn't, but it's so obvious. It can be so obvious and just normal. And then it's seen that there were some beliefs and then they were just gone. And you don't even know, sometimes you don't even know how it became like that, how beliefs fall away. They just fall away. It's energetic. This is also the same thing. It's just energetic. It's about the loss. It's a lot of beliefs can be there and then suddenly it's just not there anymore. And then it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And in the same time, and that's very funny to hear, it's not happened. Because those beliefs, it seems they were real and they were before and they were after, and we're thinking in a story like something happening and before there were beliefs and after that they were not beliefs. But it isn't like that. It's every time, it's always new. But that's not also a philosophical thing, how do you say philosophical? No. Thing. It's not about belief, it's not a concept. It's nothing you can understand. It's not something you have to accept or know. It's just new. It's not new in the way of that's fresh. It's just new. No, it's just normal new. It's always. It's just new. And that's also the joy. There's no, when there's someone and then everything seems to go on and happening again, or living in a house, in the same house, and then with the same husband and with the same woman, and it seems like getting a little bit boring or the same, or trying to make something more alive or things like that, because that new, that everything is always new, that's lost. And that's not noticed because it's so normal. We are so used to, most of the people are so used to that it's just like that. It's just what is lost. It's just normal. I can remember I felt I in my in the story, you could say there was some feelings, but I didn't know there were some feelings. It was just normal. And then later on I realized there was also always a kind of loneliness, but it wasn't noticed because it was just so normal. That was the normal way of living, so I didn't look for something else. So this is very alive, and alive is also normal. Alive doesn't mean that there's always a lot of energy. Alive is that what's happening is it. So it can be days that there's low energy, or watching television like eating candy or anything. The funny thing is, it's already what is happening. That's the newness. So that what is happening is it. How can it be different? It's just that. There's not someone inside. There's just a body moving, maybe sensations, but they are not your sensations. It's just sensations. And on top of it, the me can think, oh, that's my sensation, my feeling, and there's an interpretation about why is it like that, and I don't want it, so what can I do to get rid of that? So the whole story is starting. That's the suffering, the whole story about what's going on and not wanting it or trying to change or feeling that's wrong or there has something to happen or why is this going on like this? That whole story, that's the suffering. It's not that there's pain or there's sadness or anything. When there's pain, there can be pain or sadness or any feeling, but it's just pain. And the funny thing is also, not funny, there's pain and it's not there in the same time. Everything is apparent. So nothing is real. So there's nothing happening. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's amazing that most people can't even hear this or throw it away like this is too crazy. And it's even crazy that there are people listening to it. Because somewhere there can be like a recognition or something like, the whole game is maybe was a looking for it, and it was looking into, I was in before when there was something going on, there was a looking into personal growth or being in the now, something like that. And then when this is talked about, there can be a recognition like, oh God, there's something there, but it's not known, so it can't be understood. And that's the difference that's the difficulty. Because when there's someone, it's a lot of most of the time, a lot of times, there's trying to understand. There's trying to make an image of it or trying to grab it. This can't be grabbed, this can't be understood. That's the craziness. It can't be understood, and still it's so obvious. It's just like that. How can you, and it can't be explained like how I'm living this. This is not how I'm living this, because sometimes there are some questions about how you do that or how do you do about this. There's no Rose. There's just what's happening. So there's no Rose doing life in a certain way. There's just what's happening. So there can be moving the hand. It's very tiny. It's not the whole story about how can I do this or why or what. It's just very tiny and very simple. What's going on? And it can be a sensation or a moving, going to the shop. So it's already there. It's never been lost. It's never lost. It's just overlaid by a lot of thoughts and interpretations about how life has to be. because there's somewhere, and when there's a feeling of I am someone, there's somewhere a feeling, most people have that, not everybody maybe, like there's something wrong, or there's something wrong with me, or there's something gone wrong, or I have to make it right, or I have to understand what can I do. That's the search. That's also the misunderstanding. But that's so embodied. That's so embodied. So you can't say, oh no, there's no me. That's just a concept. It's not wrong that they're thinking there's a me. It's just what's happening. So there are thoughts like that. So what? Okay, I think this is it. So please, if you want to say something or ask or share, please do.
Hi, Rose.
Hey, hi.
You were talking about that lonely feeling, that loneliness
Mm.
in your introduction. Yeah, has that disappeared?
Um, disappeared. It's not. There's not a feeling of no. There's no feeling of no loneliness. No. There can be sometimes, for a moment. Yeah, can be. Yeah, there can be. So it's not that some feelings are never there anymore. They can come and then they go, something like that. And I don't know why. Can be there. And it's when I say a feeling of loneliness, it's even also a story. Like it's just a feeling, and then there's something going on, like naming it. But even that, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. There can be feelings like that. Yeah. This is not a state like there's no loneliness and it's always free. And yeah, it's because it's already free. It's already free. But we have a different way of looking at freedom, because freedom seems like it's how do you stromen? It's how do you say? It's flowing. Freedom is everything. It's just everything. So there can be also tightness or loneliness or anything. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, here's my glasses. What is the difference between if I would die right now as Maria person, or if this body would die without the contracted energy after the apparent person would fall apart, just like already you are? Is there no or is there no difference? Um, it's there is no difference. There is there can be um, the body not functioning anymore, but that's just what's happening. And there seems to be somebody and that's functioning. So that's the only difference, because there's already no person. The only thing that dies, it's not that it's not very big. It's just that dream that dies. But that dream is not real, so nothing dies also. So the body can be there or not. And the body, it seems like the body is there always. That's also so believed, like this is the body. Maybe it's not my body, but there's a body always. No, there isn't. You don't know. There can be body, but there can be just hands or It's very literally what is seen. And we are so strong. It's so embodied that the body and the belief is so embodied that the body is always there, and that it's your body and that's moving and that you are moving it or something like that. It's not that Rose has no you. There's no Rose. Of course, there's no Rose. You think there are characteristics, but that's in the story. You think, oh, you have maybe an image about how Rose has no you on anymore or something like that. It's not like that. It's there's no Rose. There's just that face, what is seen, and there's talking. That's it. Okay, another one. Hi, Rose. Why the words like nothing, everything, or emptiness are used? At least there are appearances. Ah, yeah, they're just words that come up. I can't say. There's just nothing happening. So why I'm using those words, I don't know. It's just going like that. It's just nothing. It's just everything or empty. It's just like that. Nothing is not an appearance. It's what's an appearance is like the table or feelings or a head that's there and it's not there in the same time. And when they're talking about nothing, that it's just nothing or empty. Can't say that's an appearance. Mm. Our appearance is nothing. It's nothing and everything, apparently. It's nothing and everything. It's just like you can't say there's nothing, only nothing, because you see there's walls or feelings. So it's nothing and everything together in the same time. It's not real. When there's someone, it seems like everything is real. What's, how do you say, events? Events are real, other persons are real, you are real. the body is real, the table or everything. It's just energy. And it's there and it's not in the same time. And it's apparent. So nothing is going on. And everything is new. That's crazy. That there's nothing before, there's no past, there's no future. Most people see, oh no, there's no future, but no past. No, there's just this. And this. That's it. What is seen, felt, heard, sensed. Just sitting. Just sitting. That's it.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Arna. Hi.
So, what is it that seems to a person like cause and effect? What is it? Like if I'm turning a knob and a water comes out of a thing, is it like a coincidence? Is it just what it seems like it's happening? What is it?
Yeah, but there are also laws of nature, or that there's gravity or things like that, and there's mechanic things. But this
Physical.
is
Physics.
but in this
Yeah.
same, yeah, but that's in the story. It's still in the story. That's so strange. It's just new. There's no before. So we are so convinced that there's, oh, because I did that, that is happening. And
totally, yes.
Yeah. But it's
not like that.
But there are laws of nature. So when I have something in my hand and it drops, it falls down, things like that. Yeah, that's just like that. Well, yeah. And then there can be a lot of thoughts that, how is that happening? How can that be possible? You never will find it. That you can think about it like ages and it will never be clear. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there's something falling away, and you think, oh, of course. But how can I say that? How can I like it can't be explained? But it's just, oh, something like that. So it's not like understanding. No, it sounds in a way it sounds crazy, and in the same time it's so obvious. It's like, of course there's no before and after. No, there's just, but it's very, 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 very literally. And the me can't, when there's me, there's always distance. So there's always like something with it.
Yes.
And sometimes something falls away. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but it's just that some beliefs can fall away, and then suddenly, oh, and then a lot of beliefs falling away. But what is beliefs? It's just nothing. It's just, beliefs. It's just a dream. It can be very embodied. And
I've got a candle here. If I blow on it, the flame will go out.
No, not always. No.
I'll show you. Look.
No. Yeah, most of
that's
oh, I saw. Yeah, that's true. You proved it.
Yeah. There is a thing and a thing. I did something.
But that's also the me. When there's something happening, you think that will always be like that. So I proved it. Now it will always be like that.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like science. There can be a lot of times it can be like, but so what? So what? Then yeah. It's just a sort of knowing that that's happening like that, or not. Maybe not, because then it's not always like that.
Yeah. for me, personally,
yeah, of course.
everything went like the seeking, the searching, the asking. Because I know, like, I realized some years ago that we'll never know what it's about, what's going on. We can come up with a whole lot of theories and research here and research, but we'll never get to the point where we know what it is about. So anyway, but still, so I'm not looking to receive a formula to do something to get somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm not wanting someone to teach me how to awaken. I understand that I know that there is no such a thing as teaching how to get there. We are already there anyway. But there is still everything fallen, but there is still this point of that non-event of the me, which doesn't even exist, but the feeling that there is a person, somebody, an individual, will apparently stop. You know what I mean? That the still here is the, I don't know, the wish, not even waiting, not even wishing, not even hoping, but there is this, let's say, okay, wanting that this, because there is so much suffering attached to it, to being separated, you know? Yeah, but there is nothing to do about it, so.
But it's also a misunderstanding, because there is saying that there's a certain me, but a lot of people, I don't know if that's the same, they say a me is there, but there's just a sensation, and you think maybe that's the me, or there's something going on, and you think, oh, that's the me. No, it isn't. It's just that sensation, or maybe there are thoughts like that. They come and go. There is already no me. You will wait forever for something to happen, because it's already what is happening, and that can be thoughts, a lot of thoughts, or you say it's suffering, but it's just feelings. Feelings can be there, or thoughts about it. It seems like thoughts about the feeling, but there are feelings, thoughts, feelings, walking.
Yeah, but okay, so there is no me, but there is a feeling that there is a me. There is a contraction and a feeling that there is a me. Where from this perspective, from your perspective, there is no such a feeling anymore that there is a me. That many years
there
ago,
can be feeling. There can be feeling, but it's so embodied that that's the me, or that there's a me. Of course, I can understand that. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Funny thing is, what I had when I had a lot of thoughts about when there's contraction in the body, that's the me still going on, things like that. I thought like that, and then it wasn't there anymore. It was very obvious, and then after a few months later, then there was sometimes still that contraction, and I thought, oh my God, it's back again. Oh Lord, something like that.
Oh
and
no.
Then, oh no, like, and then I forgot, but that wasn't noticed. But there was nothing going on like grabbing it or doing, but it wasn't noticed, so I didn't know that it was already gone.
Yes.
So then next time it was there again, those thoughts came. And then after a while, those thoughts didn't come anymore. So it was not sure that there's me. And that's a difficult one in a sense, because we are so like, oh, I want to know, I want to be sure that there's no me anymore. I know it, or I feel it, or something like that. It's not like that.
I don't care if I don't know. I really don't care if I don't know. I don't need to know. I just
Yeah. But you can't
want
feel
that
it
this,
either.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
And I
what
can't
I
say
mean,
anything.
because you at some time had this feeling that there was a Rosemary and there was this person and there was this, and now
Sure.
there isn't.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of a difference between you and me. From my perspective, from your place, there is no difference, probably.
Yeah.
But from here there is. And that's the thing that the knife or whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
I understand. Hi, thank you. Another one. It seems that a person arises so that sense perceptions are relational. Even if there's no reason for a person, it continues its arising in order that happenings make sense. That's maybe in the story you could think like that. Can be there that the brain is making up a person like a me, so seems like maybe you can have control and can do things that gives a feeling of safety. You could think like that in the story. So it seems like that. It seems that a person arises. So, but the crazy thing is when there's separation, there seems to be someone, and there seems to be another person, and there seems to be events. It seems everything seems then so solid and real, and so in some way there's thoughts, and it's not even only thoughts, but it's in during the time. If I talk in the story, it's embodied. So it's so convincing that there's someone, and then it seems like it gives hope and gives some security that you can make your life work. It never will, but it seems sometimes it seems to work, and it gives security and something like that. But it's also always a struggle, of course, because life is just going without any concern about who is there. But you think you can manage life, so that's a lot of struggle. But sometimes it seems to work. It seems like that. So it's always, when there's someone, it's always thinking in relationships of because of, or cause and effect. That's part of that duality. And when there's suddenly no duality, it's just one, then it's so obvious. It has never been like that, but it's so, the brain of the people are so capable of abstracting, and it goes so far. Wow. You can't explain that. That's the awful thing of this message. It's not about understanding or explaining. Oh, yeah. Every day I lose the person in deep sleep, but it arises on its own upon awakening. Otherwise, there's a lack of continuity. Yeah, that's true. There is no continuity. That's very frightening for a person. Yeah. But it's also very easy. There's nothing to fear. But when there's someone, there's so much attached to that person. So it seems like a huge loss when that should be gone. So there's a lot of things going on to maintain that continuity. Yeah. It wants to continue, yeah. But it's always also looking for its absence. That's the crazy thing in the same time. Nothing is going anywhere. That's the joy. It's just what's happening. So what? Then there's happening this or that. It isn't real. It's apparently real. But it's not that it's seen like, oh, this is not real all day. It's just like that. And it's just joy. And it's not serious. It's just life. It can be anything. It can also be pain. But it's also not there. Pain is there and not there. So, and be strong.
Hi, Roes.
Hello.
Hi. A few days ago, I was told that I might be seriously ill. By it was nothing too dramatic was happening to me at the time, but I have to have tests and all these things, and unfortunately, I looked after a partner some time ago who died of a similar thing. So I have all these images of how terrible it could be.
Wow.
And at first, when I was told this, I thought I didn't take it seriously. I thought, well, no, they're just trying it out. They're just not trying it out. Making sure, sort of thing. But and so even as I'm talking now, I have sensations, and I don't feel, there's a feeling that something's not right, and I have some specific sensations and all that kind of thing. So, and then it hit me that this could be serious, and then I sort of open to the feeling of it and all that kind of thing, and the fear, but since then. Nothing's changed, and of course, and I'm waiting to have appointments and various things like that, and things take too long and all that kind of thing. But I'm surprised there's some calm there as well. I don't know how how things will change, But of course, I listen to you saying there's no there's no real body. There's just, you know, that I can see now my hands and things, but there's nothing inside it. But yeah, the sensations seem very, very close. I don't know if I have any specific question. I suppose maybe I'm trying to I'm looking for help a little bit, how to deal with this. And it may turn out that it's not as bad as I think it's going to be. And maybe it'll you know, they'll tell me that it won't be so bad, but
it can be anything. There can be fear.
Yes.
Also. And there can be sensation. Maybe we are thinking it's in the body, but there's still sensations that can be there.
Yes, yes.
And maybe you don't know if there's a story about it, then there's a story about it. Yeah. Then that's the brain, and that's thoughts coming. That can happen. And they can be fear, of course.
Yeah. I don't think that
sadness or anything.
Yeah. There's
or
a
calm.
A what? Sorry.
Right. Or calm.
Calm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That somebody when they knew about it, a friend, when he knew that I said something about this, and then he rang up after a while, and he was in more of a panic. Not a panic, but I could see he wanted to help, and he said he'll come with me to have a, you know, to go to the hospital for a, you know, that, which is very, you know, kind of him, and I thank him for that. But at the same time, I sense he won't be a help because he's, you know, he sees himself as a very much as a, you know, a separate person, and he thinks how he would feel, and I would so I wouldn't have the space to be not panicking, you know, that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, maybe there's no help. Like I'm asking, sort of, I think in me talking now, it's like wanting a bit of help, but maybe you can't. There's nothing to be said, and I just have to. I still have these images of what it was like with my partner who went through it, and it was pretty terrible. So
but they're just memories. They're just memories.
Yes,
it can be there. That memories that can happen. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's just that.
Yeah.
They come and go. Yeah.
I suppose I'd like to feel that even with this, if it was something terrible, as bad as it might be, somehow there might be a lightness there.
That's the dream. That's
the dream. Right.
Because then we are always like, there are a lot of people, like, it's very human, of course, to hope and think that. But that's why we do it in life, to make life more comfortable. Of course, it's not wrong. Of course, it's that. But this is not about making it more light. It can be very fast like that. It's just life. I don't know. It can be anything. Nothing is wrong. It can be very painful, but the most of the pain is that oh, I don't want it. But if there's something going on, and that can be so embodied, like, oh, I don't want, there's just a fight, then there's a fight, or then there's you don't know what's going on. That's that whole embodied thing that's just going. And you can't say this is what I'm doing or that. You don't know. Maybe you're becoming an awful person. I don't know, but it's just, anything can happen. It's just, there can be such an energy in one way or another, or just calm, and it changes. Maybe that's the fear, that, oh, you don't know what's going on, or what's going to happen. It's just what is happening.
Sorry, I cut out. I pressed the wrong button there. Sorry, I was saying things.
Okay.
Sorry, I was wondering what was happening. Yeah. I think I have nothing more to say. It's just yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Hope for the best, maybe.
Hope for the best. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm. Okay, another chat. There seems to be a lot of energy in the world of man put towards being saved. Who's being saved and for what? Religion always seems to have fear, a fear-based agenda. Yeah. If there's no person, what's interesting in being saved? There's no interest in being saved. There's no need for saving. For what? But when there's a person, it seems like there's something gone wrong and it needs to be restored or needs to be better or filled or anything. So it's when there's a person, there seems to be something wrong or something missing or something not safe. Or when there's no one, there's nothing wrong. There's just what is, and there's not knowing what's going on, but so what? No, I don't know what's going to happen next hour, but you don't. It's just not knowing. It's not knowing in a very special way. No, it's not. You don't know. It's just you don't know. And we say you because you don't say every time, oh, there's no you. So there's not knowing. Now, in normal life, you say, I don't know. Of course. You can talk about anything. I can talk about anything, about any story that's coming. If that's coming, that's coming. So what?
I almost finished your book.
Ah, what do you think of it?
Yeah, really great.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I recommend a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
So I think you really have to find a publisher for your English version.
Yeah. I'm still busy with it because the English publisher, I have an English publisher now, but it's not already sent, but they ask so many questions about to make it, how do you say, to acquisitions with a lot of things about that, about what is your website, what is this, what is this, what is your YouTube, how many people are following you and things like that. Oh my God.
Mm.
Well, still busy with that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Life is what it is. It's just what it is. And it has no purpose, no goal, no sense. There's nothing going on. There's no before, no after. So there's just what's happening. It seems to be happening because it's an appearance. It's so easy and simple. It's just very, very literally what's happening. And that's even without any story. So the me is the story. The me is like wanting to know, wanting all those thoughts that embodied beliefs. And it seems like that's a whole thing going on. And in the same time, it's a dream. And when the dream is not happening, then that's what's happening. So in that sense, there's no difference. There's just what's happening. So it's always new. So there is no before. There's no before like, oh, once there was a Rose and then there was in the sauna something happening, blah, blah, blah. It's just, it can be a memory. That's just what's happening and that's it. Nothing more than that. There's just what's happening. There's nothing special about it. It's just what's happening, but that's already the case. It's already like that. And when there's a lot of thoughts, oh no, that's not, then there's that thought. Just that thoughts can happen, but it's happening for no one. It's just thoughts happening, events seems to happen. It seems to be very real. There can be sensation and there seems to be, it looks like they are caused by some events or some persons. When there's thinking like that's caused by that, then that's the thought. It can be so embodied. So then that's what's happening. Nothing is wrong. Of course, nothing is wrong. It can't be wrong. It's just life. Everything is life. Thoughts happening, events happening, me happening. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's everything. It's already everything. So when there's a tension, then there's a tension. So what? Then there's tension. Then there's that sensation. That can be anything. like rain. Rain can happen. Oh, there's even not, it's not the feelings that attach us to what is happening. No, difficult to ignore feelings as what is happening. How to see them as just happening. They're just feeling. You don't have to see them like something. It's just feelings, like pain or sadness or joy or I don't know. We are so used to name the feelings and adjust something with it. That's a feeling of I feel I'm not seen by you. That's already a feeling with something attached to it. It's not that feeling. And there can be a feeling, but sometimes you don't even know. Their feelings are not always very simple, or in that sense to name it. You don't know how to name it. You make something of it because you think it's because of. It's just feeling. And when there's a feeling like you think like, oh, this is because of that, then there's that, then that's there. That's what's happening. So nothing is because of anything. So it's not that feelings attach us. It's so normal to think that feelings and events or what somebody has said has a connection. There are no connections. There's no relations. There's no one. It's just an apparent happening. But if you don't see that, then that doesn't matter. You don't have to see, oh, I don't see apparent. Doesn't matter. Then everything seems to be solid. Then that's what's happening. That's seen. So what? But when there's someone, it seems like when this is heard, it seems like, yeah, okay, but there's something missing. There's a feeling of something, I'm looking for something, of course. And in the same time, there's hearing this. So yeah, that's it. It's already there. It's just what's going on, what's felt, what is going on. It can't be wrong. It can't be right either, of course. And when there's someone, there's always trying to, what can I do? What can I not do? How I have to, it's always thinking you have to do something with your life or with what is happening, or how can I do it differently then? Or how can I, it's always about doing. The me is the doer. So it's always like, oh, I have to do something, or no, oh no, I don't have to do it, or like that. And it can't imagine that it's not about doing or not doing. It's just what is. So this is not about understanding. This is just what is. It's just describing what is. That's it. And that's already there, of course. Can't be not there. It's just there, apparently. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching or hearing. Good to be here.